It's okay, Ginger. Ginger's joining me. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Deb's Way, and I'm Deb. And you can't see her, but Ginger's right down there. She had to come to the dining room here to check out what I'm doing. I haven't been in the dining room for a while. I'm not doing a video. But as you can see, I have it kind of set up for fall. Just a little decoration. It's just a little centerpiece. And I've got hot tea set up for today. Just my little tea for one service. And it's brewing some Louisiana decaffeinated tea. That's one of my favorites too. So I've got that steeping, you know, ready to be served up when it's all set to go. And while we're waiting for that to happen, well, let's just chat for a bit. What do you want to chat about? Today, well, today was another mildly warm day in Florida. We went out this morning and went grocery shopping, got a few things. And whenever we do go grocery shopping, I tend to stock up on a few things. William too. He'll take his cart and he'll go in one direction and get a few things from the list that I've made out. And you know, I'll go off in another direction and get a few things from the list as well. But invariably, both of us will have extras in our carts by the time we meet up before we hit the register. That's just the way it goes. So what I wanted to go through today was not necessarily showing you per item what I bought at the grocery store today, because it's pretty typical stuff. I mean, yeah, there were a few canned goods that I bought extra that William wanted. But there was no like big packages of meat of any kind. Didn't even go to the meat counters at all. Nothing out of the ordinary. But two things I wanted to talk about on the receipt, and I'll share with you. The receipt total was $184.27. Yeah. And that was just odds and ends, really. I'm laughing because it's like hard to believe. Our grocery bill used to be like right around 100 maybe. It is really, really increasing. And some of the goods that we did buy were buy one, get one, or buy two and get it for, you know, a cut price. It was on sale. So I also noticed though that prices, specifically, I mentioned, a couple weeks ago, I think it was, that Pepsi free, is that what it's called? Pepsi free. I keep wanting to call it Pepsi free, but it's not. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Anyway, it used to be $5.99 for a 6-pack. And so when you had a BOGO, it was, you know, buy one at $5.99, get the other one free. Well, now there was a BOGO on it again today, and bought two of them. You buy one at $6.29 and get the other free. So now just a couple weeks ago, I had reported that it was $6.19, so it's gone up another dime. And you know, that's how they're increasing the prices. It's not a lot each time, but it's these, you know, couple cents or a nickel or a dime here type of thing, a couple dollars on the meat type of thing. It all adds up, and the prices are continuing to increase. So you need to pay heed to that. And well, I went with the idea that I was going to start stocking up for holiday foods, you know, but we're not planning any big special meal this year whatsoever. I even asked William if he wanted me to look at the roasts, you know, maybe do a big roast this year. Nope, he wasn't interested. So we'll come up with something, but it's just going to be, well, for one thing, it's going to be us for the holidays. And it's going to be a nice meal, but it's not going to be anything really super outlandish like in the past. And that's okay, you know, it doesn't have to be. So, but anyway, where was I? What I was going to tell you about is two things in particular on the list here. I'll start with the Hefty bags. The Hefty Ziploc bags, I prefer the Ziploc. You know, the ones that have the little zipper thing. I like those. And they were 2 for $7. So I bought the gallon size, 2 of the gallon size and 2 of the quart size. And they are going back in the sub-pantry shelves. That specifically was an item bought for prepping in a way, you know, just saving for the future because I use them all the time. And I did buy a couple extra cans of soup. Yeah, Campbell's soup, especially in the winter. Every now and then we like to have soup for supper. And we'll pull out a can of soup. You know, William will get his, he always says chicken noodle, homemade. It's a home style, I believe it is, or homemade style chicken noodle soup. And I do like the New England clam chowder. So I bought a can of that. And the other thing on the receipt that I was going to talk about was something that I found rather interesting, and probably won't have a chance to use it until next summer sometime, but what the heck, you know, nice to have on hand. And where is it on the receipt here? Let me see here. Here we go. It's Royal Oak Tumbleweeds Natural Fire Starters. Guaranteed quick, simple, and easy for grilling. Well, I'll be using it, yes, in my little Smoky Joe grill. But I bet you could start any type of a fire using this product. I thought it was interesting, and I know when I was trying to start my grill in the past, you know, for that challenge that I was, you know, participating in, I used I used any paper that I had that was extra, paper towel, and anything that would burn to try and light up the charcoal. Well, this kind of stuff I think would work wonderful. So this is on hand then until next year. This cost $4.99. And there are 16 pieces to it, and evidently you just use one of them. I didn't really read it, but yeah, you used one tumbleweed is what they're called for 2 to 3 pounds of charcoal. Well, and I don't use that much charcoal for what I grill, you know, because it's just for us too. So 16 in this box. I did see something else. Let's see, Cat in the North on her channel, and I will link her channel below, so check it out. She's in Maine, and she is very into what is it called, Happy Fire Fridays, Happy Fire It Up Fridays. Anyway, she's into fire starting, and she found something about, they're like big matches, and I believe it was made by the same company, Royal Oak, but I did see those matches in the same area as these little tumbleweeds. I didn't get the matches. I do have other matches that I can use on this kind of stuff, but she tried out the box of matches and it worked just fine for starting a fire. So just heads up, I believe more stuff like this is coming out, not only just for barbecuing, you know, for those people grilling out every now and then, but this is like a good thing to have on hand for survival needs too. So that's what I wanted to share with you as well. Okay, and while we're waiting here yet, the only other thing I was going to do today, no, I'm not going to sew. I'm not in the mood to sew just yet, and I still have a couple weeks left before the end of the month. I did, however, take a look at the instructions for the October block for the Pioneer quilt, or Pioneer sampler quilt, and it's like, what? It's going to be complicated, but I will be giving it a try. I'll give it a go. And we'll see. I probably will wait and just film the whole thing as I'm working on it. I don't think I'm going to go ahead and do it and then film what I did, you know, showing the end result, because it's going to be a little challenge. It really is going to be a challenge. But anyway, that's coming in the near future. What I'm going to do this afternoon is just go over this little quiz thing that I got. It's not a survey really, but a quiz of sorts. And I received this in my email several months ago really. And I thought about going over it with you prior to today. And then I kind of put it on the back burner, and I thought, well, what the heck? I don't have anything else going on today. I'm not sewing. I'm not really knitting. Well, I am knitting, but I don't really have too much on that. I'm working on the Afghan that I started and kind of tore apart. And now I'm working on it again. So when I get further on that, I'll bring it out and show you what I'm doing, okay? But for today, I'm going to take this quiz, and it's called Older Than Dirt quiz. There are 17 questions. They're not real hard. And so I figured, what the heck, we'll just go over it and get it over with. And this is going to be my, oh, that's right. Today, I didn't even mention, is Happy Tea Tuesday. So hashtag one of the corners up here, Tea Tuesday. Goodness. And I will also link below the channels involved with heading this collaboration. There are two. I got involved with my association with the channel Life with Patty. She's one of the co-hosts of this collab. And then a friend of hers is the other co-host. And do you think I can remember her channel name at all? No, it's Kathy's Favorite Some Things or something like that. I'll research that and put that channel down below too. But anyway, you can check out their links and get involved with this tea collaboration, or you can even just in the search box for the YouTube channels, type in hashtag Tea Tuesday. That's all lowercase, like one word, Tea Tuesday, and it will bring up a lot of the people involved in the collaboration, and there are several. And according to Patty, the group just keeps growing. It's a different type of collaboration. You just kind of share your specific day where you're sitting down, you know, to have a cup of tea or coffee, or sometimes for me it's iced tea or Pepsi, you know. But you're just sitting down and relaxing and talking with everybody and doing something if you want to. Yeah, in the past I have done my little quilt block, or gone shopping or whatever, just something little, how are you spending your day type of thing. Or you sit down and just talk with people. And today I'm just kind of sitting and talking to you guys and going over this Older Than Dirt quiz. I think I'm procrastinating trying to start this quiz. But anyway, here I go. Okay, Older Than Dirt quiz. Do you remember? Number one, and this do you remember is supposed to be like at the front of every line here. So it's like, do you remember? Number one, blackjack chewing gum and teaberry chewing gum. Yes, I do remember them. I don't remember ever actually trying either one of them. I was more of a, well, double mint to begin with, because my mother always chewed double mint gum, but I also liked juicy fruit and spearmint. But yeah, that's the type of chewing gum that I had. Oh, and also Dentyne. Dentyne was a good one too. Yeah. Okay, do you remember, number two, wax Coke-shaped bottles with colored sugar water? Yes, I do. I remember them. I used to buy them. You know, it was kind of interesting. It was kind of cool. Little Coke-shaped bottles made out of wax, and they were filled with this colored sugar water. You'd just kind of bite off the top of it and drink the water down, and sometimes you'd chew on the wax when it was all empty, because you'd still get the flavor to it, you know. It wasn't just wax. But yeah, I do remember that. Do you remember number three, candy cigarettes? Yeah. They were actually pretty good. But yeah, you thought you were pretty cool. You know, you had a candy cigarette, you know, and you take a bite out of it. Yeah. Do they even have those out on the market anymore? I don't know. I haven't really seen any. Just like the Coke bottles. Are there any wax Coke-shaped bottles out anymore with a colored water in it? Okay, number four is, do you remember soda pop machines that dispensed glass bottles? And yeah, I think so. A different shape of dispensing machines that we have now. It was more like, you know, they were like big boxes in a way, you know, in the shape. And it had slots where the bottles of pop were kept. And then you'd grab a hold of one bottle, whatever flavor you wanted, and move that down to the area where you pulled it out once you put your money in. So, you know, you'd put your money in and pull the pop bottle out. But yeah, it was a pop bottle. And then it had an opener built into the box, you know, the container for the bottles. And you could open your bottle of pop that way. But yeah, I remember soda pop machines that did dispense the glass bottles. Number 5, coffee shops or diners? Well, okay. Number 5, do you remember coffee shops or diners with tableside jukeboxes? I don't remember specific like coffee shops or diners either, but yeah, I do know there were restaurants that had tableside jukeboxes, quite a few, you know, I mean, a lot of restaurants had them. And yeah, I used to put money in and play some songs. I seem to remember it was like maybe 3 for a quarter, you know, play 3 songs for a quarter or a dime a piece type of thing. And there were actual 45s that would drop for each song that you were selecting to be played. But yeah, I do remember tableside jukeboxes. Number 6, do you remember home milk delivery in glass bottles with cardboard stoppers? No, that's before my time. I do remember when my family moved from Kansas to Minnesota, I was in probably about 11 or 12 years old, and at our new location, my mother set up milk delivery. You know, we had a milkman come to through the neighborhood every week or so, but he would drop off not bottled milk, but it would be milk in a carton. You know, just the regular cartons like you can buy in the grocery store. So no, I don't remember the milk delivery in glass bottles. Number 7 is, do you remember party lines on the telephone? Yeah. Shortly after we moved to Minnesota, we moved to an area that was a little bit out of town or on the outskirts of town, and they had party lines for the phone service. We had like 4 people, I believe it was, to our telephone line. And it was sometimes difficult, during the day especially, to get on the phone line because there were 2 ladies in particular that held up the line. They talked every single day, it seems, for hours on end. But the first chance that we had I remember, to get a private line, hey, we got a private line in no time. Okay. Number 8, do you remember newsreels before the movie? No, that was before my time too. Before the movies in the movie theaters, there were cartoons, a couple of cartoons actually, before the actual movie played. Newsreels, that was before my time going to the movies. Number 9, do you remember PF flyers? I don't remember PF flyers really. I don't know if it's a tennis shoe, maybe? I'm not sure. But I'm not familiar with the phrase PF flyer. Number 10, do you remember Bushwhacks? I don't remember Bushwhacks per se, but I believe it was some type of a hair wax. Okay, but nobody in my family ever used something like Bushwhacks. What did they use on their hair? Yes, they did use some type of a wax cream. For some reason I'm thinking Vitalis, but I'm not sure if that was for shaving or I can't remember. But a butch cream, no, I mean a butch wax, no, that doesn't ring a bell with me at all. Number 11, do you remember TV test patterns that came on at night after the last show and were there until TV shows started again in the morning? There were only 3 channels if you were lucky. Okay, well, number 1, I don't remember how many channels there were on our TV when I was old enough to remember watching TV, you know. No, I don't remember how many channels. As far as the TV test patterns go, yeah, I remember that. I remember that TV was on only for a certain time into the night. It was not on all night like it is nowadays. You had TV up until a certain hour of the night, and then it shut off for several hours through the night. And it showed only that TV test pattern on the screen. If you went to turn the TV on, you'd see that TV test pattern. And I seem to remember there was an Indian head in the middle of it. I don't know if that's true or not, but I seem to recall that. And it was nothing special. It was just a pattern, a test pattern on the screen. And then first thing in the morning when you'd get up and turn TV on, sometimes if you got up too early, it would be the test pattern on the screen too. until it rolled around to a certain time when TV came back on the air for the day. So yeah, I do remember those test patterns. Number 12, do you remember pea shooters? Not particularly, not as a pea shooter. I do remember spitwads. Not that I ever did that sort of thing, but I remember spitwads that were blown out of a straw, you know, in school. It was gross, but anyway. I don't specifically remember pea shooters. Maybe that's what they call it, I don't know. Okay, number 13, do you remember Howdy Doody? I sure do. Howdy Doody time. It's Howdy Doody time. I remember that very well, the TV show, yeah. Okay, number 14, do you remember 45 RPM records? Yeah, when I was preteen, teenager, yeah, 45s. You'd have, back in those days, I don't know what they do nowadays, if they have anything similar to it, but when there was an artist that you liked, you could buy a single, you know, the 45 was like one of their singles, like a special from one of their upcoming albums. You could buy that single as a preview to the album. And usually those 45s turned into be a hit, you know, so yeah, I do remember the 45s, and I used to have quite a stack of them also. I don't know what happened to them all, but yeah. I remember also, yeah, the 33 1/3, some of them were red also. They were from my grandmother's era. I do remember that. But anyway, 45 RPMs, yeah, I do remember those. And also the LPs. Oh, I think back in those days too, it was a 78 that my grandmother had as well. Anyway, yeah, there were different records. Number 15, we're moving right along here. Do you remember S&H green stamps? Yes, I sure do. I liked S&H green stamps. As a matter of fact, I wish they had them yet today. You'd go to the grocery store, and with every dollar that you spent at the store, you got these green stamps. And then you put those green stamps into a little paper booklet. Once that booklet was full, you just set that aside until you had enough booklets that you could go shopping. Now, in the town that I lived in, there was an S&H green stamp store. Honestly, they had their own little store. We used to go down there every so often and go shopping. And it was like getting free stuff, you know, because you were using your green stamp booklets to buy something of interest that you wanted from the store. I mean, it wasn't food stuff or anything like that. It was just odds and ends. I mean, one time specifically, we got our first Yahtzee game and bought it with S&H green stamps. So it was pretty cool. Okay, number 16. Do you remember hi-fis? Yeah, you betcha. You know, a little turntable with speakers attached to it. Yeah, they were the thing when I was growing up. Number 17, do you remember metal ice trays with lever or lever? Yes, I do. That years ago, when I was much younger, I mean, growing up in Kansas, this would be, well, since I was born in Kansas, I was definitely much younger. Back at that time, the refrigerator that we had the ice cube trays, metal, with a lever that you pulled up to loosen the ice cubes in the tray. Then what did it go to? What did it go from there? The hard plastic ones? Yeah, and then it went to the regular rubber ones that you kind of just twisted back and forth to loosen up the ice cubes. And now today we have the ice cube maker built into the refrigerator with a dispenser there too. So that's what we have today. We moved from ice cube trays with a little lever to, loosen up the ice cubes to self-dispensing ice cubes out of the refrigerator. So yeah, that's how it goes. Okay, well, it says here at the end of it, if you remember 4 or more of these 17 items, then you are older than dirt. Well, according to this quiz, I guess, I am older than dirt, but I sure don't feel like I'm older than dirt, so I don't know about that, guys. Anyway, well, I think my tea should be just about done. It should be, it's still warm, yeah. So I'm going to go settle in, watch some TV news, and have a cup of tea, and decide on what to make for supper. I don't know what to do for supper, but I do know we have a lot of corn on the cob that I'm going to cook up several ears of that, and then I'll just add something to it, add something to the meal. We've got a dozen ear of corn at the farmer's market when we went the last time, and we only have eaten a couple ears from that so far, so I think what I'm going to try and do is actually freeze a few ears from that, just to try it. I've never done anything like that before. I've seen it done on YouTube channels, of course. I might just give that a try. If I do, I'll be sure to take you along with me, okay? But for this time around, that's it for this Tea Tuesday. So I'm going to sign off here and go and enjoy my tea for the day, okay? Hope you're all having a good one out there. You take care. I'll be talking to you again real soon, but for this time, for this Tea Tuesday, it's going to be bye for now.